This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Baruch Hashem, over the last period of time, we've had many opportunities to speak about one of my favorite and one of the all-time great Gedolei Yisrael, Reb Chaim Yosef David Azulai. We spoke about him in Italy, we spoke about him in Spain, we spoke about him at his kever only a few weeks ago in Har Menuchos, but now we're going to speak about him on Yud Aleph Adar, the Yahrtzeit of Reb Chaim Yosef David Azulai. And we always like to mention what the Chida himself writes in the Avodas HaKodesh Moira Be'etzba in Ois Kuf Nun Gimel. The Chida writes, Mi she'enoi ma'abed zman yesh es lakol. One who doesn't waste time, there's time for everything. The Chida literally could have been writing about himself, because according to one account, the Chida wrote more than 70 Sfarim. Others say he wrote even more than 100 Sfarim. What I would like to share with you today on his Yahrtzeit is 3 comments of the Chida in his commentary Nachal Eshkol on Megillas Esther. First, the Chida points out in Megillas Esther Perek Gimel, Pasuk Yud Beis, the day that was chosen to promulgate the letters of Haman, Vayikara'u Sofrei HaMelech B'chodesh HaRishon B'shloisha Asar Yahim on the 13th day of Nisan. Why did Haman pick the 13th day of Nisan? Well, says the Chida, he did not want to pick the first 12 days of Nisan, because those 12 days the Nesiim brought their karbanos. The 14th already is Erev Pesach. Pesach itself, Kavachomer, he's not going to choose Pesach. Maybe we could add the 7 days after Pesach, he certainly would not want to choose. We actually have a tradition, Chassam Sofer brings down from the Master Rekeach, that the third Beis HaMikdash will be inaugurated. So those days were days of happiness. So Haman picked the one day in the month of Nisan that has no redeeming quality to it, and that is the 13th day of Nisan. Interesting, if you look in Shulchan Aruch and Siman Taf Chav Tes, the Kaf HaChaim and the Chassam Sofer all find various good aspects of the day of the 13th day of Nisan and offer reasons why independently and inherently it's a day we don't say Tachnun, either because it's the Isru Chag of the Karbanos HaNasiim, or it's the day of the Milah of Avraham Avinu. But be it as it may, that is the one day that Haman was able to find that he did not see any redeeming quality to. Let's go to Parak Tes, Pasuk Tes, the Aseres B'nei Haman. Interestingly, many Chumashim that I've come across spell the name Es Arisai v'Es Aridai. They spell the name Aridai, missing a Yud. Aleph, Reish, Daled, Yud. Aridai is the 9th son of Haman. And I was actually wondering about that, because in all of the Svarim, in the Rekeach, and in the comments of the Vilna Gaon, they point out that the Aseres B'nei Haman have 54 letters. Keneged, the 54 times that Haman is mentioned in the Megillah. Keneged, the 54 words of Bimei, Mordechai v'Esther, and the Alanisim. And Keneged, the gematria of Emcha. Emcha is 54. Hashem says, Ki machai, what will I wipe out? Emcha. The 54 letters of Haman, the 54 times Haman, the 54 letters of the sons of Haman, the 54 times that Haman appears in the Megillah, that's what Hashem will wipe out. Well, I counted the letters of the Aseres B'nei Haman, and very interesting, there are only 53 letters if Aridai is spelled Chasar. Well, we know you could be off by one, but says the Chida in the Mincha Shai, he brings there's a machlokes. There are opinions that Aridai should be Malay. Rabbeinu Meir in his Margaloisov writes it's Malay. Maram Paparish also writes that it should be Aridai Malay. And to get to 54 exactly, it would come out much better if Aridai was Malay. Okay, last offering from the Chida on his Yahrtzeit, Yud Aleph Adar, is the Jews killed 75,000 Amalekim. The pasuk says, "Ushar hayudim asher b'medinos hamelech nikalu v'yamoid al nafsham v'noyach me'oyevehem v'harag b'sarnehem chamisha v'shivim aleph uvabi zaloi shalchu es yadam, that the Jews killed 75,000 enemies. What is the significance of the number 75,000? Well, interestingly, the Chida points out the gematria of Hadassah is 75. Im HaKoilel. The gematria of Yehudim is also 75. Says the Chida, L'kavoid Esther Hadassah, L'kavoid the Yidden, the Yehudim, which is also 75. Hashgacha had it that we were able to kill out 75,000 enemies. These are three Perushim from the Chida, Rav Chaim Yosef David Azulai, from the Perush Nachal Eshkol, that Baruch Hashem, that we're Zoicha to learn. Yud Aleph Adar Tavshin Ayin Ches. We hope the Neshama of the Chida has an Aliyah and should be Megan on us and for all of Klal Yisrael. Abi Eshkol Tzedek B'mher V'yameinu Amen.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.